Sani Sagani Pagama Pagamari Padavama Padani Sarisam Sarvabhamamayam.
Namaste. Myself Sowmya from Hanover, Germany. Today, I warmly welcome you all to the 9th day of the blissful journey into the world of Indian arts. In this journey, we had the opportunity to experience wonderful performances from very talented artists all over Europe. Today's program includes musical performances by Anuja and Balaji from Karlsruhe, Germany, Mythili Sri Rani from Turku, Finland, and Lavanya from Berlin, Germany. We also have a dance performance by Subhadra from Munich, Germany, and Upanyaasam by Narayanan, Switzerland. Before we proceed with the performances, I request you all to subscribe to Samskriti Europe's YouTube channel. Please encourage your friends and fellow artists to be part of Samskriti Europe, and let's join hands not only to ensure the continuity of the culture and value system unique to India to the next generation, but also to encourage young talents and seasoned artists in your neighborhood. I hope you will enjoy today's performance, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Namaskaram to all. I am Balaji from Karlsruhe, Germany.
I'm Anuja from Karlsruhe, Germany.
We are also part of Lasya Fine Arts, teaching music and also organizing events here around Karlsruhe and in Germany. And today we have just taken a small challenge. The 30 days of the month of Margazhi have the respective Tirupavai from Sri Andal presented in different ragams, 30 different ragams. So we are just going to brainstorm or rapid fire together what kritis or compositions we know of these 30 ragams. Feel free to try this yourself as well, and also post on the comments what kritis you know in these different beautiful ragams. Hope you like it. Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Vasishta Vamadevadi Vandita Mahaganapatim. Shri Saraswati Namostute Paradevate Shripati Gauri Pati Guru Guhavinute Vidyuvate Shri Saraswati Namostute.
Kana kana ruchira, kana kavasana ninnu, kana kana ruchira, kana kavasana ninnu, kana kana ruchira.
Vande Vasudevam Shripatim, Vande Vasudevam Vrindarakadisha Vandita Padabjam, Vande Vasudevam.
Acharyalingaya Vibo Acharyalingaya Vibo Swayambho Acharyalingaya Vibo.
Yamam Shri Mahalakshmi Agilandeshwari Janani
Vikalpabhishekamata Vipinagata Maryavasa Sahita Sita Saumitri Shantatoma Shilam Guhanilaya Kadam Chitako Nagata Maradatata Mayitaratna Maya Paduka Madana Sundaragam
Charanu Siddhi Vinayaka
Charanu Vidya Pradayaka Charanu Siddhi Vinayaka
Charanu Parvati Danaya Muruti
Charanu Mushika Vahana Charanu Siddhi Vinayaka
Tayalai Keladi Undan Tayalai Keladi Undan பையனை போலவே இந்த வையகத்தில் ஒரு பிள்ளை அம்மா நான் கண்டதில்லை வையகத்தில் ஒரு பிள்ளை அம்மா நான் கண்டதில்லை தய யசோதா உந்தன் ஆயர் குலம் துதித்த மாயன் கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் செய்யும் ஜலத்தை கேளாய் தாயே எப்படி மனம் துணிந்தாரோ எப்படி மனம் துணிந்தாரோ சுவாமி பணம் போய் வருகிறேன் என்றார் இதயக்குமோ பூமி எப்படி மனம் துணிந்தாரோ
Samidaya Juta Manchi Samayamu Vega Rasa Midaya
బాలకనకమయ చేల సుజన పరిపాలకనకమయ చేల సుజన పరిపాల శ్రీరమాలోల విధృత శర శాల శుభత కరుణాల బాల ఘననీల నవ్య వనమాలికా భరణయేల నీదయరదు
Samagana priye Amba Samagana priye Amba Sarvalokanaikiye Amba Samagana priye
ರಾಮನಿನೇ ನಮ್ಮಿನ ರಾಮನಿನೇ ನಮ್ಮಿನ ವರಮುಕಾಮ ಸಕಲ ಲೋಕಾಭಿರಾಮ ರಾಮನಿನೇ ನಮಿನ உனையலார் வேறே கதியில்லையம்மா உனையலார் வேறே கதியில்லையம்மா உலகெல்லாம் மீண்ட அன்னை உனையலார் வேறே கதியில்லையம்மா
முருகா முழுமதி பழிக்கும் மருமுகா முகுந்த மருக முருகா
வந்தனமோ ரகுநந்தன வந்தனமோ ರಘುನಂದನ ಸೇತುಬಂಧನ ಭಕ್ತ ಚಂದನ ರಮಾನಂದನಮೋ ರಘುನಂದನ
ಶ್ರೀ ಚಕ್ರರಾಜ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನೇಶ್ವರಿ श्रीललिताम्बिकये भुवनेश्वरी श्रीचक्रराज सिंहासनेश्वरी
श्रीललिताम्बिकये
पाहि पाहि जगन् मोहन कृष्ण परमानन्द श्री कृष्ण पाहि पाहि
जगन्
मोहन कृष्ण परमानन्द श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण नीवेगने बरो कृष्ण नीवेगने बरो
கூத்தனி சொல்லி வாராய் குற்றாலன் நீ போய் தூதனி சொல்லி வாராய் குற்றாலன் நீ போய் தூதனி சொல்லி வாராய்
வெங்கடாச்சல நிலையம் வைகுண்டபுரவாசம் கடாச்சல நிலையம் வைகுண்டபுரவாசம்
பங்கஜநேத்ரம் பரமபவேத்ரம் சங்கசக்ரதர சின்மய ரூபம் வெங்கடாச்சல நிலையம் வைகுண்டபுரவாசம் முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு அந்த முறுவலில் மயங்குது உலகு முருகனின் மறுபெயரழகு
अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्तनं तिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं मुरारिगर्वसर्वणं प्रपञ्चनाशभीषण धनञ्जयातिभूषणं कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम् भजे पुराणवारणम् मीनाक्षी मे मोदौ दे हे कि मीनाक्षी നേകിമീ
குழலோதி மனமெல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையதும் எனக்கேதடி சகிய குழலோதி மனமெல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையதும் எனக்கேதடி
മനസായ തുലോ തൂനെ മനസായ തുലോ തൂനെ മനവിചി കൊനവേരോ മനസായ തുലോ തൂനെ
கனக சபை திருநடனம் கனக சபை திருநடனம் கண்டு கழித்து ஆனந்தமடைந்தேன் கனக சபை திருநடனம் கண்டு கழித்து ஆனந்தமடைந்தேன் கனக சபை திருநடனம்
महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दित महागणपतिम्
On that note, we wish everyone a fantastic start of the new year and a very smooth and happy finish of this year. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. I am Shubadha Subramaniam, residing in Munich, Germany. I am a disciple of Guru Dr. Vasundara Doraiswamy. After practicing with her for many years, now residing in Germany, I am trying to continue this passion by performing and also teaching kids. I firstly congratulate Samskriti Europe team for successfully organizing the Margazhi festival for the second year, and I also tell them thank you for having me again here to do my contribution. Thank you very much. Today I am going to perform Purandaradasa Devarnama in Raga Shankara Bharana set to Mishra Chapotala. Thank you for watching. All of you stay safe.
Pugadilo, name is Mythili Shri. Today, on the occasion of Margazhi Utsavam, I will be singing a Kirtana composed by Sri Tyagaraja Garu in the Ragam called Nidhi Chala Sukhama in the Ragam Kalyani and Talam Mishra Chapu Talam. Nidhi Chala Sukhama Nidhi Chala Sukhama Ramuni Sanidhi Seva Sukhama Nijamogabal Govarsanidhi Chala Sukhama Ramuni Sanidhi Seva Sukhama Nijamogabal Govarsanidhi Chala Sukhama Ramuni Nam Nidhi Seva Sukhama Nijamogabal Govarsanidhi Chala Sukhama Dadhinavani Dana Shiramulu Rojo Dadhinavani Dana Shiramulu Rojo Dadhinavani Dana Shiramulu Rojo Dasaradhi Dhyana Bhajana Sudhara Samo Rojo Nidhi Chala Sukhama Dasaradhi Dhyana Bhajana Sudhara Samo Rojo Nidhi Chala Sukhama Ramuni Sanidhi Seva Sukhama Nijamogabal Govarsanidhi Chala Sukhama Dhamasama Manu Ganga Snanamo Sukhama Gardama Godishaya Gopa Snanamo Sukhama Dhamasama Manu Ganga Snanamo Sukhama Gardama Godishaya Gopa Snanamo Sukhama Mamata Bandhana Yodara Narastuti Su
श्रीमते रामानुजाय नमः। श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रं दीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवं यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्यजामातरं मुनिं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदां भुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य शरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। मातापिता युवदयस्धनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आत्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयवट्टनाद श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्तरमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमणिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। नीलातुङ्गस्तनगिरिधरे सूक्तम् उद्भोक्त्य कृष्णं पारार्त्यं स्वं श्रुति सदशिरसिद्धमध्यापयन्ति स्वचेष्टायां सृजनिगलिदं या बलात्कृतय पुङ्क्ते गोदादस्यै नमयितमितं भूय एवास्तु भूयः। அன்னவயல் புதுவை ஆண்டாள் அரங்கற்கு பண்ணு திருப்பாவை பல்வதியம் இன்னிசையால் படி கொடுத்தாள் நற்பாமாலை பூமாலை சூடி கொடுத்தாளை சொல்லு சுடி கொடுத்த சுடர்குடியே தொல்பாவை படியுருள வல்ல வல்வளையாய் நாடினி வெங்கடவர்க்கு என்னை விதியென்ன இம்மாற்றம் நாம் கடவா வண்ணமே நல்கு. நமஸ்காரம் Shri everyone. With the great blessings of Shri F.Padi Srimaan Narayanan and Periyavarattiyar Shri Mahalakshmi Tayar, we are all blessed to be in the Dhanur month, the Margazhi month of this year, and celebrating the Margazhi Utsavam. It is a very fortunate thing for all of us. The Margazhi month itself is a very special month, auspicious month, filled with full of devotion, especially the devotion towards Kannan, Lord Emperor Srimaan Narayanan. Kodinachya Sri Andal, one of the Azhwars, has shown the way a bhakti has to be shown towards Lord Emperor Srimaan Narayanan through her prabhandam of Tirupavai, which is being chanted during this month of Margazhi. That's why it's filled with full of devotion towards Lord Emperor Kannan. The Sri Vaishnavism, each Azhwars have been very unique in their devotion, we call bhakti, towards Lord Emperor Srimaan Narayanan. Out of that, Andal stands out in the devotion, the way that she showed the devotion towards Kannan, the matured devotion that what she showed towards Kannan. Andal's father, Sri Periyalvar, another Azhwar, he was very uniquely standing out also amongst the other Azhwars, where he was always treating Kannan as his own child, and he does the Tirupallandu, and also he himself treats like a mother of Kannan from the birth till the whole stages of Kannan's growth. That way, his devotion was very unique. That's why he is called as a Periyalvar. He always worried about Kannan. Nothing should happen to Kannan, and he does the Tirupallandu for him. In that learning, that Andal has also showed a very unique bhakti towards Emperuman Kannan, and that's what she showed that in the whole Pashurams of Tiruppavi. And chanting that Tiruppavi during this month of Margazhi, it gives the blessings of Kannan, and it is also an auspicious month. For the Devas, it is the Brahma Muhurtam month. On top, Andal has chosen this month as a one where she did that puja and the prayer towards Lord Emperuman Kannan. And that is the uniqueness that Adiyan wanted to share few thoughts about how Andal's bhakti is so different and what we can learn from that bhakti. At the end, we have to mature ourselves in our bhakti towards Emperuman Kannan, and this month gives a lot of opportunities for us. Talking about Andal, chanting Tiruppavi, it gives so much of the opportunity for those maturity in the bhakti. Andal's bhakti has been shown even from our Purva Acharyas that she stands out, and she has been very young. The history, the Purva Acharyas tells, she has been there only up to an age of around 6 or 7 years, where she, and then after that, Kannan comes and marries her. Within this age, she has written the 2 prabhandams, Tiruppavi and Natya Tirumuli. And in the Tiruppavi, it is 30 Pashurams, 30 verses, but the level of bhakti and the maturity and the devotion that what she has shown has been explained with a great kindness from our Acharyas. The first Adiyan have taken a few examples. Andal's devotion we can talk for hours, but Adiyan have taken few examples in this time period to share with all the Adyars. First thing is the early age bhakti that what Andal has shown. Andal has been brought up by Periyalvar, who himself is a great devotee of Kannan. So from the very young age of 1 year or 2 years, she has been listening to the stories of Kannan, and the bhakti starts to grow within herself. Normally, Purva Acharyas have defined there is a 7 stages of bhakti, the maturity of bhakti. It starts with something called Abhilasha. Abhilasha is an opportunity, the first introduction towards anything, the new bhakti. We take kids to the temples. They see the festivals without knowing what is bhakti. So they get introduced. The curiosity starts from there. It's the Abhilasha. Normally, this starts from an age of around 5-6 years, is what they just map it approximately. Then this turns into Abhilasha, into a Chintana, the next level of maturity. The same thing, what the curiosity turns into a thinking towards that. And it turns into a third level of Anushkriti, which is repeatedly thinking about that. And that turns into a fourth level of bhakti maturity called as Ichai. That means the desire to reach that one. Because that's where the desire or the willingness to take that one, that's a fourth level of maturity. And that turns into Ruchi, which is where we start to practice, we start to enjoy that bhakti, which is the 5th level. And then the last 2 levels, which is the very difficult level, is the Parabhakti and the Paramabhakti stages. The Parabhakti is that the devotion is the only means, only thinking in the mind. And anytime that even a small moments that we have to be separated from Emperuman, being in this samsara, there are many minutes that we are away from Emperuman. Azhwars have been in this stage when they were writing this Nalayira Divya Prabhandham, that even for a few moments then they were been taken away from their thinking, away from Emperuman and being in the samsara, they were always been unhappy. They have shown that in the verses of Nalayira Divya Prabhandham. They call it out as a samslesham and vislesham. Being together with Emperuman, they have been so happily singing these verses, but when they have been away in the samsara, they have been praying that, Kanna, we have to be together with you. And that is the Paramabhakti stage, where always being with Emperuman in Sri Vaikuntham and able to do the Nitya Kainkaryam to him is what the stage of the last stage in the maturity in the bhakti. These 7 stages, Purva Acharyas tells to map it to a normal human. ages, it takes maybe around 35 years, 40 years to reach to this maturity. But Andal, in her age of 7 years, she reached to this maturity level, which she shows that in the Pashurams of the Rupa. It's not only just, it's a history, but she has done that in practice. She has shown that one. She starts to learn that bhakti, and then when she ends the Pashuram 29, you can see that she is already into the Parama Bhakti stage of bhakti. So she has shown that level of maturity in the age of 6 to 7 years is a very unique. That's why Purvacharya states that she is standing out amongst the Azhwars in the devotion towards Kannan. One of the Acharyas, Sri Manavala Mamunigal, in his Upadesha Ratnamalai Grantham, he states one of the Pashuram, Anju Gudikuri Sandariyai, Azhwargal Tam Sayalai Vinjinirkum Tanmayalai, Pinjil Paduttalai Andalai, he states. So Andal has been the legal heirs for all the previous Azhwars. There were Azhwars, the first 3 Azhwars, we call it out as the Mudal Azhwars. They are counted as one, Thirumalai Azhwar, Nammalvar and Madaragavi Azhwar as the third, then Kulasegara Azhwar, then Periyalvar. So these 5 previous generation, she has been the legal hire, or she is the representative of them. That's what Anjigudi Korisandariya, Alvargal Tamchayale, Vinjinirkum Tanmayalai. She has been just surpassing, she has been standing out amongst all these Alvars because her devotion towards Kannan was so matured in her small little age of 7 years, and that's what they call it out as a Vinjinirkum Tanmayalai. Pinjil Padutala, even in a small age, she was showing such type of a matured bhakti, is the uniqueness by which Andal has been quoted by our Purva Acharyas, and the devotion what she showed. All these things, is it being preached by Andal just in the Tirupavai? No, she has done this in practice. That is the uniqueness. She has been Bhuma Devi's incarnation. She could have given this Grantham, she could have preached us being in Sri Vaikuntham. But she didn't do that way. She came into this world as Andal, Godenachar Andal, and she wanted the same level of maturity for every Jivatma to have an opportunity to reach to Moksham. And that is her prayer towards Lord Emperuman. That's the reason that she takes this avataram of Andal. And that is the first uniqueness we all should learn from Andal. The maturity of the bhakti comes, whatever age that we are starting our bhakti, but to our kids or the younger generation, it should start in a very early stage. The early stage bhakti is giving an opportunity to mature faster. This is, Andal has been an exception into this one. In 7 years of age, she has been a prodigy, child prodigy in that sense, and her bhakti is very unique in that aspect. This is the first thing about Andal. Second thing, again I have taken, Andal has shown another way, because when we show a bhakti, it should be egoless, selflessness. This is for the happiness of Emperuman Sriman Narayanan, not for the happiness of the inner soul. This is what they call it out as doing a bhakti without ahankaram mamakaram. The thinking of me, I, myself should be completely taken out when the prayers towards Emperuman is being done. And she shows that maturity in the Tirupavai Pashurams. If you carefully see that the Pashurams 6 to 15, she goes and she does the prayers towards Kannan by inviting all of her friends, 10 friends that she invites. That means doing a devotion together with all devotees, where praising the others' devotion without any ego for ourselves, thinking about ourselves. And she does that one in every Pashuram. This is a very big learning, because she has been the Bhuma Devi and she has got a direct connection with Kannan, but she didn't show any of that one in her Pashuram. She never used the word I or me in any of the Pashurams of the Rupa. She has always been taking together all the Acharyas, all the devotees together, showing the bhakti. Then Kannan is more happy when you do such a type of a devotions together. That's why we celebrate those type of utsavams together with all the Acharyas. And that is the time when we are doing with others, the ego, the opportunity for the ego to come out is very high. That's where we should be controlling, and we should be showing the bhakti towards Emperuman is a great occasion. And she has shown that one. If you see carefully all the Pashurams, she praises in each of the Pashurams the other devotees. Nangai, Bodari Kanninai, Kodikalamudaya Pavai. She gives a lot of praise to other devotees. And she even tells the devotion of them is so high, Kannan would be very happy. She would get an opportunity to meet Kannan and get the prabhavam of Kannan. And that's the way that she makes herself matured in her bhakti. And this has been shown as one of the great examples from Acharyas, that how when we are showing our bhakti, how humble it should be and how it has to be done together, the devotions to be done together. And that takes our ahankaram and mamakaram out, which is a very difficult one, which is the most difficult enemy within ourselves. And we have to learn to practice that bhakti, is what the Acharyas keeps telling. And that Andal has shown in the age of 7 years the maturity, and that is a uniqueness. She stands out on her devotion. The third area where she has been showing the devotion towards Kannan, because every devotion has got certain type of a request to the Lord. When we go, we does the puja and things, and we ask for many things, all the needs of this samsara. But the true bhakti, when we are praying, which we call it out as Ananya Prayojana stage, where we should be asking only the moksha, being Emperuman himself as the need. He is the means and he is the palan. To be with him and doing the continuous service to him in Sri Vaikuntham is the final benefit. Andal shows that maturity also from the Pashurams 26 to 29, where she starts to ask Kannan, need something for this prayer. And then he asks Kannan himself, and she asks whatever may be around Kannan she is asking. And then in the Pashuram of 27, 28, she asks the moksham, Paraitaruvai, because she doesn't need anything. Matrainam kamangal matrailoram bhavai. In the 29th Pashuram, see, we do not need anything else other than being there in the Sri Vaikuntham and able to do the continuous service to Kannan, is what the level of each of the Sri Vaishnavas requests, that one. And the maturity that what she showed has been quoted as a great example. Again, I've summarized so shortly all the Tiruppavi Pashuram. It's very difficult to. Each of these Pashurams are being explained for 2 to 3 hours by our Acharyas. So much of the inner deep meaning. But Andal has shown a structured way. She starts with the Mangala Sasanam to Emperuman. Then she does the Bhagavata Seshatvam. She praises all the other Bhagavatas, the devotees. Then she goes into Nappinai Viratyar. Then she wakes up Kannan and then asks for what she needs. The need that she asks is Parai Tharuva. She only asks Parai not only for herself, for all of us. Kudi irundu kulirunde elorum bhavai. She talks so much of the bhakti that what Andal showed, we can talk about for many hours. Purva Acharyas have been so kindful to us, because if they have not explained these things from the Pashurams of the Ruppavai, we would not be understanding. And they have been so kindful to explain these meanings, inner meanings, what Andal has shown that in practice. Anushtanam is very important. Learning bhakti is equally important, but practicing the bhakti is what that Andal has shown. And in the 30 Pashurams of Tiruppavi, she has shown so much of the upliftment for these Jivatmas. And that's why in this month of Margazhi, we take the opportunity to chant Tiruppavi and also talk about Andal, her bhakti, her devotion. And that gives at least some type of a maturity to our bhakti. And also it's equally our responsibility to take this to our next generation. And everyone can mature into this bhakti by chanting this throughout this Margazhi month. And it is filled with so much of the devotion. Again, took this short time to share few thoughts about Andal's devotion and how unique it is. But it is only a small drop, again, have touched upon within these few minutes. Acharyas explains this very deeply, and we could chant Tiruppavi, get into the inner meanings of Tiruppavi. That gives the full experience of Andal's devotion towards Kannan. On this occasion, again, humbly pray the lotus feet of Emperuman Sri.Narayanan and Perivaratyar Sri Mahalakshmi Tayar for the well-being of all the devotees, and also a great success of this Margazhi Utsavam of Samskriti Europe and all the associations. And at this stage, I pray the lotus feet of Emperor Sri.Narayanan, and let's all chant Tirupavai during this period and get the blessings of Sri.Narayanan and Prabhandham, Shri Mahalakshmi Taya, and Andal herself. Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Azhwars Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Emperavanar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam.
Namaskaram. I am Lavanya Prashant. I live in Berlin. I am a student of my grandfather, Brahmashri S.R.V. Sarma, and my father, Shri S.V. Subramaniam. I thank Samskriti Europe for this opportunity and this great event, which allows a lot of people around Europe to get a chance to perform. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to perform a song, Shri Kantimatim, in the Ragam Hemavati by Muthuswami Dikshitar. शङ्काद्यां होतर सहस्र कलसा भिषेका ओदा सुरहिता शङ्काद्यां होतर सहस्र कलसा भिषेका ओदा सुरहिता श्री The next song is Nenarunchara on the ragam Simhavahini by Sri Tyagaraja. Nenarunchara na paini sala nenarunchara na paini sala nenarunchara na paini sala nenarunchara na paini sala Charana paini zalanida sudanu gana Shri Ramanenarum 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 Charana paini zalanida sudanu gana Shri Rama साकेत वास सर्वत भोज साकेत वास सर्वत भोज नेनरुम चरना पैनी जालनीद सोडनु गन श्रीरामानेनरुम तल्ली तंद्री गुरु दैवमु निवनी तंद्री गुरु दैवमु निवनी तदसुगानु निन्नु नम्मियुन्नने तल्ली तंद्री गुरु दैवमु निवनी तदसुगानु निन्नु नम्मियुन्नने तल्लडिल्लु चुंड तल्लडिल्लु चुंड दारि जूपवेवि तल्लडिल्लु चुंड दारि जूपवेवि त्यागराज पाल सुगुण शील त्यागराज पाल सुगुण शील त्यागराज पाल सुगुण शील त्यागराज पाल सुगुण शील नेनरुम चरना पैनी जालनीद सोडनु गन श्रीरामा नेनरुम चरना
Sani Sagani Pagama Pagamari Padavama Padani Sarisa Sarva